Ladies actually has an NHL connection.
I was going to ask you that because we're thinking we should do a little tag.
Yeah, I think you should, because everything we do is VIP. So we are invited guests. Technically, I'm an invited guest. So we can say that
invited by me
to Bare Naked Ladies, which again has an NHL connection. So I say we shout it out, and then I have all the pictures from the Magic thing, which I think we need to push out too. So, and then Sarah, if you do anything in a group, take pictures, and it's a VIP double D-Fense opportunity to show that we are making our way through Canada and the United States.
We are making waves, and also between all of us supporting the Canadian music industry, I think more than we expected to.
They appreciate that. Taylor Swift announced more dates this week, and there was no Canadian date. And they were upset. There were no Canadian dates.
Taylor Swift is not playing in Canada.
No, and there's people that are really upset. I heard someone in Edmonton, I don't think it was the mayor, it might have been a councillor, like they want to sue because for all the tourism it would have brought Edmonton.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, for those of you just joining, welcome to Double D-Fense. We are an all-female New York Rangers hockey podcast made up of 2 New York Rangers fans and a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. We have not figured that out yet. One day we will. It's been a big question that we've been asked.
We keep everybody guessing.
We do.
Like, get confused.
We are actually on season 2, episode 6. I cannot believe it.
Summer edition. Officially today, yesterday. So we are in summer.
Yeah, and we, even though our teams have been out of it, and
well, everybody's out now.
Everybody's out now, and everybody's on vacation
is still
now.
Celebrating.
Well, the guys in Vegas are going to their free orgy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Vegas they've been getting some offers apparently. So yeah, what was
it was I think literally one of the brothels in Vegas offered
the Bunny Ranch
sex party to all of the players if they won the Stanley Cup, and they did.
Is that in addition to the lifetime supply of lap dances?
That was a different offer. Different offer. Vegas is a good city.
It's good to be a Cup winner in Vegas, I guess.
They should just host it every year, regardless if the team's actually in it. The city should.
Like the Super Bowl, have it be held in a certain place.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
These guys, and maybe it's interesting because maybe we've coming out of like a pandemic kind of wins. So with Vegas, they just tore it up. And I don't know if it's because they're younger or because, but these guys, I think it's the craziest party and celebration that we've been able to see. Or maybe it's just because we're paying attention more. But, the sea of people, from the game to the celebration to the parade has been insane, absolutely insane. And it looks amazing. They had like all the videos of them drunk as fuck have been, and they deserve it. They deserve it. When you get to that point, just enjoy it all. So, no hating anything. I've been seeing, we obviously seen a lot of boo-hooing, for them, but they earned it. They played well. They played amazing. And now they're and who knows where they are? I feel like half of them are waking up somewhere they don't know, drunk.
Somebody's going to wind up with a face tattoo for next year.
I know they all have Kessel, did you see Kessel's already eating hot dogs out of it?
I did see Kessel. Was Kessel with Ovechkin? I saw that picture somewhere yesterday, I think. Okay. Because I had a note on here being like, where are the cup parties happening? So I haven't seen any pictures, but I have seen the Phil Kessel picture. So I don't know where the rest are. There's 19 Canadian players. Also, I think most of them are from Western Canada, a couple from Quebec, but I was been waiting for my feed to fill up, and I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, maybe
it's around.
Yeah,
it's around,
and it's such a stark contrast to where the Rangers are right now. Because I'm just imagining Panarin after posting that picture. We talked about this last week a little bit. Panarin shaved his head, so I'm picturing him in some Russian gym working his ass off to make sure that he's in good shape for next year. I'm picturing Kreider in the gym, eating sweet potatoes and just crying into his gym towel. That's how I envision what our guys are doing during the off season. Vegas is partying.
Mika is in the background.
Mika's spinning at Lollapalooza, Sweden. He's the only one who just doesn't seem to care.
I love Mika. Oh,
and he's gonna be wearing a little mesh shirt.
Ooh,
for Kreider.
That was from one of the fans.
So we not only do we have our coach, but they have I guess this week rounded out our staff. too. So we got Pekka, amongst some other coaches, and so.
Did you watch Laviolette's interview that they did when Chris Drury announced him?
No, I didn't. But it was live, which is good.
I did watch it. The first thing he does is he's like a big dude, and I've heard that he's like quite tough in the locker room. Like
I've seen clips of it.
So he gets up there and he goes, well, my wife gave me some advice. She told me I needed to smile, so I'm going to smile. And he goes. It was just so like, it was like he was teaching himself how to smile just on behalf of the crowd. But the rest of it was nice. He seemed very excited. Nothing was they didn't really push him in terms of like the questions. They didn't ask any like real hard balls or anything like that. But he seemed excited to join the team. He seemed ready to work.
He has a 3-year contract too. So, and that was part of the talk with, losing Gallant is that, we only had him for 2 years. So I don't really know what his contract was. I want to say, but, what they were saying was he's usually more productive or kind of shows himself more on that 3rd year, and he wasn't given that opportunity. So, again, maybe that's advice they took. Maybe we'll see this coach go for 3 years and see what we can do. So, again, I've seen things back and forth, but again, just you don't know till things begin to occur. We will see that cycle with that meme of like complain, fire,
Yeah.
It's going to go around and around. Maybe we should just take bets on when it's going to happen, so but as my philosophy goes, like let them play. So let him do his job and let him get together. Everything's going to happen so quickly. So, we got preseason schedule out, which means our schedule is going to be coming out really soon. You got awards on Monday, and then you've got, trade talk. So we're starting to see people getting signed, working out they're all negotiating right now. We are also seeing a rise in trade rumors and
a lot of rumors.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye, Miller. Just kidding.
Well, no, it's not Miller.
I'm going to start the rumor. Miller's getting traded.
Oh, I want to ask you guys about Gallant. Like, are you sad he's gone? Do you think he could have pulled it together in year 3? I do.
So there was part of me, and Christina and I talked about this, I think on the episode that you were in here, Sarah, where I was thinking about like what coaches are out there that they should hire. And I was like, Gallant would actually be great for this team. Like it was kind of funny because you just wanted someone who's just, you look at the Rangers and you go, okay, they need someone who's going to shake things up a little bit. I mean, Gallant didn't, but he seemed like he had the ability to, and then just chose not to. But like Gallant in the right way could have been great, but they went with, so I don't know. I'm not sad. Obviously there was some locker room issues that started to be very clear toward the very end of the playoffs and their run. So I think it needed to happen, but I think he'll have a good landing somewhere else. I bet by next season he's scooped up by another team.
Yeah, I think the intentions were good. In recalling like what he initially said, he stood by what he said throughout the entire season by shaking things up, doing last minute changes. And I think where we all felt he wasn't responding well was when, the kid line was actually performing better than anybody else. And we didn't see him give them more space and time to improve their skills, which holds them all back. And so I think that's where there was a little bit of a deficiency there that kind of, and then I think it's just ego that cost him his job, not his ego, but it happens.
For sure.
I feel like if we would have had the extra year, we would have been fine too. So
I think so too. What about Florida? Do you think much changes in Florida?
I hope so.
I mean, just other than your personal feelings about the team,
about who should retire and never be talked to again. Yeah,
I think Florida had a great run. I think Vegas outplayed them. I don't think that. I almost don't think that there's anything that they could have really done differently. I think Vegas was just so exceptional by the time that they got to the finals. But I think Florida, if they keep on this path and can possibly make the playoffs with a little bit more room to spare next year. And they now have this confidence going in. I think they could be a very big contender. I thought Paul Maurice did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't win.
And both Florida teams are really strong, and tend to not shake things up too much, during the season. So, there's a lot of benefit to that. It was a tough division, and so the fight for those spots was great, and they capitalized on the errors of the other teams perfectly, but so did Vegas. And so I think Vegas just learned more as they went along, and the Panthers just kind of tried to, they felt that what they had was good enough, and they learned it wasn't.
And Sarah, what's going on in Pittsburgh? I mean, is anything major changing?
I haven't seen anything. I honestly think we'll see a little more closer to the draft, which is Wednesday. All the buzz up to now has been on Spezza joining and on Kyle Dubas. I really haven't seen much more. There was some speculation, I think just media being media, on Sid, but I really don't see that changing.
Like rumors about him like retiring or something.
Yeah. And that was that's not like recent, like this week, but that'd be before like the cup was awarded. There's a lot of news out of Toronto here that is anyone a Pittsburgh fan now that Kyle Dubas has gone over to Pittsburgh, which is hilarious because that's where I came from. I came from Leaf Nation, so I think that's kind of funny. But no, I think we'll sit there and wait and see what happens around the draft. I'm seeing all kinds of speculation around, free agents up to that point. Even Vegas, I was reading today, will they keep the goalie? Absolutely, I think they're going to keep the goalie. Like, look what he just did.
Yeah.
I think that's someone who's bored and needs something to write. I definitely don't think that's something we need to talk about.
Well, they're already calling for back-to-back, so let's see.
Yeah, right?
Okay, Vegas, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing their luck, but I'm all for it, So do it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Over here in Calgary, like it's actually Edmonton this morning. I heard, what's Connor going to do? I don't think Connor's going to move. I really don't. I think they had a pretty good team. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think there's much room in Edmonton? I really don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. We don't pay attention to any Canadian teams.
What?
I don't know. Connor wants a cup, and do I think that'll happen in Edmonton? Probably not, as long as Bettman's still here, and we can talk about that in our inclusive conversation. But if Bettman's going to be running the show for a little while longer, I don't think any Canadian team has any hope. So maybe Connor does decide to make a move, but he's a franchise player, so I don't know.
It's interesting,
and there's more and more people, that are talking about, testing their market and stuff. So it'll be an interesting.
Be an interesting off season. Yeah, for sure.
It's all going to start happening pretty quick.
Yeah, I would imagine next episode we have a lot more to talk about in that area.
With people I know that Toffoli's not being renewed, and other people are kind of being vocal about testing the market for stuff. So we have a lot of free agents on stuff. So our team as well. So, but we haven't really heard too much about our guys. I just know that I think we're seeing more that they're in discussions with stuff, with the team. So, I mean, that's good. It is what it is. We just are going to follow through, and then, and let people know as soon as we hear. So I know a lot of the other guys are already talking about like what people think. I feel it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And like with the draft next week, like there's so much buzz on Connor Bedard. He's going to go number 1. I saw several articles this morning say like, well, who's number 2? And yet nobody answered it. So I think between free agency, maybe some other little moves, or people have deciding not to come back. I don't know if retirement's the word, but just maybe taking a year or whatever. I would say Wednesday and Thursday can be really busy news days in our world. So we're going to have a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, by next week I think we'll have a lot more info.
Well, we have a long ways to go in the draft. So we're not first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We have, I think we're 29th, or something. So we'll be our first pick. So it'll be a fun ride. Again, there is more to talk about and speculation. We're going to keep an eye too on people's thoughts and predictions on stuff, and and where that's going to go in the upcoming weeks for stuff. And awards. So we had our own award show.
That's right.
So, which now, and then the next thing we'll talk about too is how our award show compares to what's going to happen on Monday.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure the NHL do they have a best dress, the best dress bromance category? I don't think so. I don't think so.
We're going to find out, but it's on TNT on Monday. So
I see Dirk Bentley is hosting. That should be all right.
Yeah.
So, and it's in Nashville. Is that where it is?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think everything's at that arena. They must have got a good deal on it. That's my guess. So like they have the awards, tear it all down, get it all set up for the draft. So Bettman. So
Bettman. Okay, speaking of Bettman, we do need to address a pretty major decision that came down from Bettman this week, which is I think it was an official ban of all custom jerseys for all specialty nights because he felt it created a distraction. And I use that term lightly. I think what really kills me about this is I feel like it's sort of the worst outcome for the entire intention of a specialty jersey night is to create awareness around a particular cause. And especially with Pride, this is such a step backwards because they were already there. So to take a step backwards, it's such a statement. And we really try not to get too political on this podcast, but this is political. This goes beyond politics. It
has nothing to do with politics. This is a social awareness and inclusion maneuver that has been something that's been tradition up until now. Military night, cancer fight, hockey fights cancer night, St. Patrick's jerseys. So they've put a ban on all of them. And so where we're going to see a loss is in revenue. I mean, these are
for these organizations.
Yeah, they were donating these to to the organizations that they're representing. The nights will continue, so they will have these nights in the arenas. The other thing too I want to bring out is that it was never mandatory for anyone to wear. So it's just quite I want to say no way nice to say it, so I won't say it. It's just a bad decision and a gutless decision, on behalf of Bettman, to do that. And I'll tell you something, it won't quiet the people, and one of the things, and I was talking to my boss about it today too, because she's in Toronto. Look, it's ignorant, for people to not realize that these things, occur. It's all about inclusion and acceptance and bringing, people in. And we should have not less nights. We should have more nights, for things, because why does it hurt anybody? It was great when we went to the Kings game and it was, a Hispanic Heritage Night. So all of those things should be, something to celebrate. And it doesn't hurt anybody. The ignorance comes from the people that I've seen responding to, oh, good for them. And, where it's like politics doesn't belong. This isn't a political thing. It's a social awareness, thing. And where if you want to stop being socially aware of the people who are around you, then we're like, you become more ignorant and it's not a good thing. We should be a forward moving society. Yeah. And guess what? I don't get quiet. So, so actually this week, my son and I we're going actually to Angel City FC, which is a women's soccer league. And it's Pride Night on Sunday. So we're going to round out Pride Month with that. And I'm also going to give a really good shout out to the LA Kings organization, who have consistently promoted Pride Month.
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many other teams do that. I know the Rangers had in a story, but the Kings have had it on their logo. They have they've done a sponsored walk, and so with Darryl Evans, and so like that, just a props that these things do continue. So for those who think it goes away, it's not. And I'd like to see, Bettman leave and have some of the younger that's going to bring back this inclusion and forward, direction into sports. One point I was propping up the NHL for the things they were doing, like for Black Lives Matter, and stuff. And, to have a few, in my opinion, liars, that created a scene, all of a sudden, create such a big decision is gutless.
It's 2023. Like, this shouldn't even be a conversation. And the fact that Bettman's just like getting rid of it just says that he's done. Like, we know he's done, but he needs to go.
And the carelessness of his statement too. Yeah. Like, it was just such a throwaway thing. He's so out of touch. He was booed pretty significantly when he was bringing up the Stanley Cup, which was, very well deserved. Very well deserved.
Someone like Brian Burke would be a great replacement for him. He's not my top choice. I think, honestly, you need someone like Messi. Like, you need a figure who has such a presence. I say Brian Burke because his son came out, and that was a whole, I feel like that whole hockey season he came out, it was a big topic, and it really brought inclusion not only to hockey, but to baseball, at least in Toronto as well, because of Brian Burke's relationship with the Blue Jay sports reporter Hazel May. That's a whole other thing. Feel free to Google it. But it really transcended, and it broke. I don't say broke boundaries, but it like overflowed into other sports and other conversations. And again, it's 2023. North America has been through a lot in the last few years. Outside of professional sports, I'm thinking politically. I know we're not political, but all these things add up, and it's not okay that they are making this move and stance. It looks pretty shitty.
Yeah. And the way to handle it is to ignore it, continue with it anyway. And again, these nights will continue, to my understanding, for the NHL. So, it's good as we see the calendar come out of the schedule, for the games, to help promote those nights, across the board as much as we can, at least for our teams that we kind of pay attention to. And it'll be nice to see, some of these teams kind of, step up on their own, like the Kings. Like the Kings have been doing a great job. Yeah. And Vegas is a really forward kind of, thinking team as well. So it's good to see that these guys are kind of stepping up and doing,
that is one of the things that I think I was a little bit disappointed with the Rangers this season, because I think for such a forward progressive city as New York, for them to just kind of be like a little bit on the back foot about it, not really make a statement. Yeah.
Blame one person.
Yeah. I'm happy to blame one person. It was lousy. It felt, as a fan, it felt lousy. It just was, it was weird. It was weird. And I hope that, I don't know, maybe there'll be a different tone under Laviolette. We'll see. Time will tell.
Definitely.
But it's also to the fans to kind of stick up for, for things, so aside from pride, again, Hockey Fights Cancer was always a really big thing. And they're, and the jerseys are great. St. Patrick, like if you're going to get rid of these nights and these extra little fun things that people look forward to purchasing. I mean, they were those jerseys were auctioned off, for things. Everybody liked to go and enjoy the little giveaways and stuff. So I don't know about the giveaways. I just know it's like the practice jerseys are what's gone. So,
and maybe this is an opportunity for those retail organizations. I'm thinking Steel City. I think Blue Shirts is one. All those little like really heavy fan supported brands that lean into the teams, but are separate. This is their opportunity to step up and do something different and stand out. And that's fine. That's great. And I really hope they kill it so that NHL comes back and says, hey, we're really missing a big revenue opportunity. Yeah. And not only the revenue opportunity, obviously, the inclusion portion. Because right now it's just gross.
I was just thinking how awesome it would be if the fans really took it into their own hands and everybody somehow like coordinated to buy rainbow jerseys and wear them all to the Pride game. Mm-hmm. I mean, something like that. Like if the fans that'll be. And
by the way,
that's going to be in my movie. I'm still writing that movie. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do know the one you're talking about.
Wait, that's great. And by the way, if we're getting rid of practice jerseys, why can't we get rid of the All-Star Game jerseys? Because those things were the ugliest thing I have ever seen. So
there were so many.
Start there.
There were so many in the Flame shop.
How about Winter Classic jerseys? I mean, now why are we not getting rid of all those? I think everyone should just wear their own stuff. Yeah. Like somebody's going to complain about it. Maybe we should, just for fun. Yeah.
Those all-star jerseys, there were several.
I wish the team
I'm trying to think
would
who
make
it was from Calgary. It
their
must have
classic
been
jerseys, pride jerseys.
I'm trying to think who it would have been for Calgary. It's gonna escape me. But whoever it was, their jersey was in the Flame shop, and they're the last home game. Like no one's touching them, and there's so many, and I'm just like, ugh. Yeah.
On a more positive note, Rangers fans did get some exciting news this week with Henrik Lundqvist being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's very well deserved. Very, very well deserved. What a class act of a human being, and what an incredible player. Like just all around amazing.
Yeah, and now he will be the king forever. Just in the Hall of Fame. His thank you to everybody was very sweet and humble and cute. So we look forward to seeing that as well. I think it was expected. When I saw it, I was like, how could it not be?
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a big surprise once we saw it. There would have been a revolt if it had been passed over. And it was his first time too. So of course that was a good milestone, awesome. For him and the team. So that was good news that came out as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I mean, and he's done everything over the course of his career other than
his movie's out now too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He has a movie I think it's called Open Heart, which is like a reference to the surgery that he had, but also like, I guess his heart being open. I thought it was a brilliant title. I can't wait to watch it. We have to try to find it.
There was a meme going around, or there's a thing going around, like where somebody was posting like Canada, or not Canada, the Capitals' best player was inducted into the Hall of Fame. People were like, "What?" It was a joke.
Did he ever?
It was really funny.
Did he ever play a game for them?
He never played one game.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I love that.
I cried. By the way, I cried when they traded him and he went to because again, it's not a surprise that I hate the Capitals. When my child was young, I said, if you ever go to the Capitals, I will never watch you play. And of course, that's where Henrik went. And that day, it was a Friday. I cried and real tears. And then he never played. And I kind of thought his heart couldn't do it either. So there's a reason.
So poetic. It's beautiful.
So. Feels like a song,
Yeah. Definitely a country song.
We'll make it up later on at the concert. So, and also 2/3 of our podcast will be attending Bare Naked Ladies tonight.
Yes.
Which is funny because I admit that I don't know. I know a few songs, but I really am recalling how they played for some NHL games. So it's fun to see that there's this Canadian tie to NHL,
and they reference hockey like in a bunch of their songs. Like I feel like they're
love hockey bands.
Yeah, they're great. And then speaking of supporting Canadian music, Sarah will be at Nickelback later this weekend.
Ooh,
I am not afraid to admit I love me some Nickelback. I love it.
Yeah,
they put on a great show. I'm not going to say how many times I've seen them before, but they do have a great show. I'm excited. My son will be excited. It's his first big show in Alberta, I think.
So. Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to think about that one. But it'll be good. My friend Noelle was a preschool teacher for 2 of the Bare Naked Ladies kids, I believe.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was on the Danforth in Toronto.
They mention it. They talk about the Danforth in one of their songs.
They do. The old apartment. I remember.
Yes.
Yep.
Liz
I'm wearing a green dress.
I'm wearing the not green dress.
They reference a green dress in
If I Had $1 Million. Yeah. I listened to them a lot.
Bought it just for the concert. I'm very excited.
Are you going to take some craft dinner? Do you even have craft dinner? I don't even know if you guys do.
We have. It's called Kraft Mac and Cheese. It's not called Kraft Dinner here.
Kraft dinner. That's so cute.
Of course we will. Just eat more. I could go on all day about this.
I'm so excited.
One of my all-time favorite bands. I think I've seen them like 4 or 5 times prior to this. They're comedians as much as they are singers. So it'll be a great night. And on that note, is there anything that we didn't cover today?
I should shout out Evander Kane and his girlfriend model Mara Teagan had a baby boy this week. Hendrik's Frank Kane. There was some significance, I think, to one of his parents or grandparents knowing Jimi Hendrix. I heard that. I don't know if it's true. And I think his oldest son is named after, Evander. Evander's named after Evander Holyfield because his mom knew Evander Holyfield.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I thought that was a fun fact.
Yeah, I never knew that connection.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to know the connection. But that's interesting. I thought it was a really cute, shout out. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, on that note, have a great weekend, everyone. Keep your eye on the rumor mill because we will be we'll be reporting as soon as we hear anything.
And then we'll come back with award winners and talk about that and draft and and then keeping up with the rumors as they start to build. So summer's kind of coming, and hopefully we'll have a schedule.
Hopefully we'll have a schedule. Yeah.
Yes, I hope so too.
And we can warn which cities will be hitting at which times.
That'd be great.
So have a fun weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye.